All right, so I just cleared the gatehouse. I have never been in this community before, and I'm looking forward to servicing it. Hopefully I can build a new relationship and maybe in the future service their HVAC system and their plumbing. Beautiful street here. Reminds me of Windermere in Florida. Beautiful place, guys. Beautiful place. So let me find the place. I think I found it. Good morning, sir.
How are you, mate? You okay?
My pleasure. Yeah, here's my card. I'm here for your pool heater.
Oh, good lad.
I'll go around the corner?
Around the corner?
Sure.
I'll open the door.
Okay, thank you, sir. Got my knee pads, I got my gloves, and I got my tool bag. Let's go see what's going on.
Mike, I was going to say bring your truck up.
Yeah, company policy is we have to park in the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah. God forbid something leaks on it, I don't want to, it's all good.
So, Mikey, mate, I'm having a nightmare with this damn thing.
How old is this?
I've got a guy, I think it was when the homeowner, we moved in 2.5, nearly 3 years ago.
Okay.
And the homeowner just like completely revamped, completely renovated, inside, outside, new pool, new space. So it can't be more than 4 years old.
Okay. Runs on natural gas, correct?
Believe so, yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
And any service in the years that you've been here? How long have you been here for?
Nearly 3 years.
Okay.
So there's a guy that comes every week, Raphael, and his guys. They're good lads.
Okay.
And, you know, that he's not a proper technician.
Gotcha.
He just services the pool, makes sure the chemicals are all right.
Okay.
The pump's on a 12-hour timer. But a guy before you, who is a contact of a friend of mine, and his car bloody broke down yesterday, which is why I called his company and they told me to give you guys a call. So he said that he's adjusted the timer on it, but what he's adjusted, I don't know. You probably know how all that
Understood.
works.
But when's the last time it worked?
Just the other day when he was here, he put it on. It was, the heat was coming out here, and he said, look, I put it up to 86, which is where I need it at for this weekend. And he said, let me know, how it does. I came back from work and it was
It's not doing anything.
It was off and it was on 71.
Okay. All right, so we got this Pentair Master Temp. It's saying service heater. Let's turn the heater. Actually, it's not doing anything. I wonder if we have a lockout on remote control. Well, we have a pretty standard timer clock right there. Waterfall is off. I just power cycled the heater. Now she seems to be functional. Let's put that to 86. Heating is flashing. Let's see if it will do anything. The inducer motor, the blower motor is on. We have ignition. The pool pump just quieted down a bit. Let's see if we have we're at 2805 RPMs, running on a schedule, using around 1130 watts of power. All right. How many horsepower is this thing? 3 horsepower. Big pump. Looks like we probably have a separate pump for a spa or waterfall water feature. Salt cell. We have a relief valve here. Let's check that. And the relief valve is 50 psi. Alright. I believe my relief valve is 30 on my pool heater. But right now it's running. I don't know why it was in the service heater and why the buttons weren't functional before, but it's running now. So let's dig a little deeper in here and check for obvious things like maybe a clogged orifice on a burner, but I think it's sealed combustion. Let's see. All right, so I used a flat screwdriver and removed the 4 screws on each corner. That gave me access to the actual heat exchanger and all the components of the pool heater. I removed the access panel cover with those 5/16 screws using a small nut driver, and taking a look at the wiring schematic, both the connection diagram and a logic diagram, which is really beneficial. So, one actually shows you, in a ladder form, and the other one is actually, connections and their association and what color wires and things like that. It's pretty beneficial. To open up this cover, you're going to get the model and serial number of the unit right there. Also a phone number for tech support. Let's take a look at what we have in front of us. We have this gray and white box. This is Venmo controller. This is the automatic ignition system control module. This is a hot surface igniter, and we have voltage going into it, which is 110 volts and 110 or 240 and 24 volts from a transformer. Like a Jandy, for example, you can have 110 volts or 240 with this wire conversion harness, Molex plug. Behind there, right to the right, we have our incoming voltage and our voltages. Right there, this is our blower assembly. We have a pressure switch. We have a water pressure switch there, and we have water temperature sensors on the heat exchanger block header. And coming out of the bottom there, and looks like this is brass 3/4 inch nipple with a brass 90 and connected to our 50 psi relief valve, which is not plugged. Excellent. So it's been running with no problems. Water's kind of cold, 68 degrees. I'm using the Fluke 902 FC meter with a thermocouple attachment, and temperature's correct. 67 degrees, 67.6 degrees. I'm assuming they don't cover the pool with the automatic cover at night or during the day, and you drastically raise this temperature up at least 15 degrees. I have a 20 by 40 pool that's 8 feet deep with an automatic cover, and I don't have my heater on during the months of going into July, August, and a little bit of September. I just turned it on yesterday because it was 85 and I went up to 88. But with the cover closed the majority of the day and the sun beats on my pool, it definitely is a help. Let's check the outlet temperatures. All right, so let's get this probe right in there. Okay, and we are at almost 80 degrees. So I'm quite content with that delta T, or that temperature difference. We got a good 10 degree temperature difference. We're good. All right, let's do some troubleshooting steps. Let's turn the pool off. Make sure that the unit is responsive. So it did totally kill all of my display. I have no lights on. Display is blank. The only thing I hear right now is my inducer assembly with a blower motor cooling off the heat exchanger. I'm going to take my multimeter and we're going to check for resistance or ohms on the hot surface igniter next. All right, I removed the back panel of the heater, and that exposes the gas valve. Now, coming out of the gas valve, something you don't see typically if you're working with HVAC systems, unless you're working with negative pressure gas valves and high efficiency furnaces. We have a brass barb connection here on the left side of the gas valve, and it's hooked up to some clear tubing, and you can see it wraps around and it goes to here, right? This, I guess you can call this housing or bell adapter, which lets the air come in. And we have another bunch of 3/8 clear tubing there going to the pressure switches. But this is to make sure that we do have a negative pressure here where air is being sucked in, so it senses that. Let's disconnect this harness right there. And let's test for resistance on our hot surface igniter. It's gonna be a little tricky with one hand, so I may have to not show you. All right, so instead of trying to hold the ends of the leads at each pin, I just shoved the leads into the opposite side where the wires connect to the Molex connector. I'm reading 42.9 ohms, 43 ohms. And with that being where it is, the hot surface igniter is okay. I checked the mega ohms resistance on our flue temperature sensor, and it's also normal. The hotter it is, the lower the number on mega ohms. I also removed the cover of the exhaust and make sure that there was nothing abnormal, any soot, especially soot carbonization. If I wipe my hands in there, I got black powder. That's a carbonized or sooted up heat exchanger, and yeah, good luck trying to clean that because things get sooted up for a reason. So yeah, it may end up replacing the heater at that point, especially at what the age is. We're going to reconnect the flue limit switches, and let's talk about the sensors on this block right here. All right, when the front cover is off, you can expose the block, water passageway block. Our 2 orange wires go to this brass sensor. It's not a sensor, it's a high temperature limit switch. It's all it is, a switch. It's not a sensor, so it's either open or closed. We'll divert our attention to this sensor right here, and it will correspond to water temperature. So right now I have a water temperature of 69 degrees, and my ohms are reading around 4,600 ohms as resistance. And for a water temperature of 69 degrees, I should be between 10 and like 13,000. But this won't result in a hard lockout. A hard lockout is what we were having when the unit was not responding to any of the commands. The only thing it responded to was the power being turned off and then turned back on. There are some lights back there, but nothing out of the ordinary. All right, so unfortunately here I have unable to duplicate any issue that would duplicate the hard lockout that the unit was getting. We are set for 84 degrees. The pool heater is heating. We ramped up or down the speed on the pump, turning it off and on a couple times. Also turned on and off the pool heater several times, and unable to duplicate the hard lockout condition it was having before. In speaking with the customer, they told me that this has been ongoing for the past year that they've been here. It'll just randomly not want to work, and the pool guy comes and he does what he does and it starts to work again. But he got tired of doing that and wanted a professional look at it. I did say, listen, worst comes to worst. I'm not saying do this, but it would be nice to find the problem, but we can always replace it with another heater. We have 3/4 inch gas right there. We have 1.25 inch coming in with a ball valve right there that's marked WOG, which stands for water, oil, gas. So that could be used for gas, water, or oxygen. Water, oil, gas. So we're good with that. Comes up, we have the drip leg here. We have the 1.25 inch by 3/4 galvanized T with the dielectric union there going into our pool heater gas valve with 3/4. We have our electrical whip there. It's nice and secure to the base. And our supply, which is on the inlet side, the top is 2 inch. And we have an outlet with a check valve there on our discharge or our outlet side. We have a chlorinator there. Sorry, not a chlorinator, a salt generator there. And then we have I thought it was an automatic valve there, a valve actuator, but no, regular valve there. We have wall return and something else there, but let's check our pressure. Probably not even correct. Oh, sick, told you. Sand filter or DE filter? Yeah, DE filter. You know, with the size pool that's here, they would be better off with a sand filter. You know, get a much more. Yeah, I would do a sand filter here. need a larger base here and get a nice large sand filter here, Hayward or Jandy. 2 pumps. Obviously that one's not being used. Maybe that's an in-floor cleaning system, but other than that, not too sure. All right, so before leaving, I'm gonna make sure that no tools were left behind, that all my screws are back into place. Now, 1 screw was missing of the 4 here. All 4 are back on the other side. And because it's kind of like plasticish thing, I didn't think my sticker was gonna stick onto it, so I just put it onto the side of the timer control box. Right there, there's our new stickers. It's got a QR code and a cartoon version of Mikey Pipes holding the wrench and the analog refrigeration manifold. I have a link in the description box down below for the company I got those from. They did the design, the QR code, everything. 1,000 stickers for like really ridiculous, stupid, cheap number. I would charge double or triple what they're charging, and it's a great sticker. And it's a nice matte finish. It's beautiful. Check it out. Link in the description box down below. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a little side commentary, not related to the actual service call. So if you like, I guess, sign off. I've never been in this gated community. I've lived on Long Island my entire life, 47 years. And I've never been in this community. You know what? I was expecting more. I really was. I was expecting more, but guy's got a nice crib. And just one quick little side request. Check out my YouTube channel for Mikey Pipes Orlando. And I would appreciate if you guys can subscribe to that channel if you haven't done so already. Catch you in the next one. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.